Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Divinely Transformed, where healing is freedom and it begins within. And together we break the chains of karma and reclaim our power and rise into divine sovereignty. Your path to autonomy and freedom starts right here. Welcome or welcome back to the channel, whichever the case may be. I'm so glad that you could be here with me today for my very special presentation of Divine Guidance for Celebrities, Justin Bieber edition. So, before I get started with this, I want to preface this by saying that my readings are for the utmost respect and for the promotion and benefit of their souls. This is not me outing them. It is me helping them, show them where their patterns are if they were to be watching the video. So I don't know if they'll ever see these videos, but if they did, it would really help them change their lives. And whoever else is watching in the meantime, y'all learn, some probably pretty profound things through the example of others. So that's the intention of this, and also to have a little fun doing it as well, because those that are interested in celebrities and that culture, which I'm one of those people but for different reasons, you just have fun learning about, some of the people that are considered to be celebrities that people talk about the most. And, you might not always like what you hear, but it's fun to hear about it. So it kind of provides a little bit of something for everybody. And then, it just gives you a fun example. And today's example happens to be Justin Bieber. And I also want to say before I start that my goal and intention is only for helping with growth and development, for positive soul evolution, explained in a way that I explain things in. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So this part of it will be scripted because it's unique to the birth chart. So I'm going to break down what his entire birth chart means. And then after that, I'll do a tarot reading, and that'll be intuitive reading. No more scripts. So just wanted to give everybody a preface of what was to happen. And I don't think I'm going to make this, I've tried to make this shorter than the last one, because the last one, Britney Spears, was pretty long. So, I believe that I've shortened it enough without taking out any of the details. So, with all that being said, let's just go ahead and get into this. So, I have set it up. We're going to talk about each individual house and how his placements show up in each house. And I'm starting with the first house and explaining them as we go through. So the first house, he is a Scorpio rising, Justin Bieber. And the first house, it means it's someone's identity. It's their instinctive responses. It's their embodiment and how he enters life. And we all have a first house, and we all have an ascendant. And it's different for each of us. So he has a Scorpio rising. The definition of a Scorpio rising is the instinctual identity, first impression, and the lens through which with life is approached. The sign expression, he comes off as intense and has a magnetic presence. He's hyper perceptive. Justin Bieber is emotionally deep and transformative, and he's sensitive to energetic undercurrents. When Justin Bieber's in his shadow energy of the Scorpio sign, he's guarded, suspicious, emotionally armored, and there's reactivity when feeling unsafe. And after he integrates his shadow, he will eventually learn to transform powerful self-awareness and develop emotional truth and develop a transformational presence and a deep insight into other people. The karmic lesson of Scorpio rising is not to confuse emotional intensity with danger. The karmic opportunities to master intuitive perception and become a psychological healer. And the integrated summary, Justin Bieber steps into his life with piercing sensitivity and emotionally transformative energy, an instinctive old soul identity. So he really is an old soul, and you can tell that he's been through quite a lot. But with everything that we know about Mr. Bieber, he's still in the shadow expression of his Scorpio rising. And that's no shame or no shade, but it's just pointing that out there because the whole point is to integrate the shadow into light, into truth. In the second house, he has Uranus in Capricorn, and he has a white moon, Selena, in Aquarius. And I'll explain what that all means as we go. So, the second house is about self-worth, finances, values, and inner stability. So, Uranus in Capricorn. Uranus governs awakenings, freedom, shock events, and innovation. The sign expression of Uranus in Capricorn is unconventional approach to money, ambition, plus rebellion, and a desire to reform systems. The shadow side of Uranus in Scorpio is financial instability and resistance to structure. And whenever it's integrated, the integrated light is he learns how to have an innovative career build. Like he builds his career and uses innovation to do it. And to restructure old systems into new models. The karmic lesson of Uranus in Capricorn is stability comes from disciplined innovation, not rebellion. And the karmic opportunity is to build a future-proof legacy. I think that's beautiful. He also has a white moon, Selena, in Aquarius in the second house. And white moon, Selena is all about pure intuition, higher guidance, and spiritual protection. When it's in Aquarius, it values authenticity, humanitarian ideals, and spiritual liberation. And the shadow side of white moon, Selena, in Aquarius is detached values, avoidance of emotional grounding. And whenever the white moon, Selena, in Aquarius is integrated, it means that he grows into someone who's inspired and who is in intuitive alignment with himself and with the world around him. and also values that uplift the collective. The karmic lesson of White Moon, Selena, and Aquarius is to stay grounded while elevating consciousness. And the karmic opportunity here for Justin Bieber is for him to let his intuition guide financial and creative decisions. His self-worth grows through spiritual authenticity and innovative structure. So he's got a very unique life path and signature. Well, we all do, but especially him. So Justin Bieber also has a third house major stellium. He has his sun in Pisces, Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces, and Mars in Aquarius. And it's all in the third house. So the third house is about thinking, communication, expression, social perception, and early learning. So whenever you have all of these placements in one house, this is a major stellium of the messenger archetype. So Justin Bieber is the archetype of a messenger because he has the major stellium in his third house. So his sun is in Pisces. The sun is his core identity, vitality, ego, and life force. And whenever it's in Pisces, it expresses itself as an empathic mind, someone who's imaginative communicator, and someone who has creative sensitivity. The shadow side of the sun in Pisces is emotional overwhelm and avoidance of direct truth. And whenever he's healed and integrated, he has a healing expression about him. His speech is inspiring, and his leadership is creative and it's visible. The karmic lesson of the sun in Pisces in the third house is clarity matters as much as compassion. And the karmic opportunity is to use sensitivity as a superpower. He also has Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So Mercury is his thinking style, his communication style, and his mental processing. And retrograde means it's internalized and it's non-linear intelligence. So whenever Mercury is retrograde in Aquarius, it expresses itself as someone who has original thoughts, download-like insights, and mental detachment. The shadow side of Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is miscommunication and feeling misunderstood. But whenever Mercury is integrated in Aquarius, he develops genius-level vision, innovative ideas, and a unique voice. The karmic lesson of Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is that Justin Bieber does not need to fit the mold to be understood. Because the more he tries to fit the mold, he can't be the mold. Karmic opportunity is for Justin to learn to communicate authentic truth with confidence. And he has Saturn in Pisces in the third house. And Saturn is all about structure, boundaries, discipline, and karmic learning. And whenever Saturn is in Pisces, it expresses itself as emotional responsibility, spiritual discipline, and internal seriousness. The shadow side of Saturn in Pisces is emotional heaviness and self-doubt. But whenever Saturn in Pisces is integrated, there's deep emotional clarity, and he would have a mature creative processing. The karmic lesson of Saturn in Pisces is Emotion is not a burden. And the karmic opportunity is to turn emotional sensitivity into mastery. He also has Mars in Aquarius in the 3rd house. And Mars is all about his drive, energy, conflict style, and desire. And when it's in Aquarius, the sign expresses itself as Justin Bieber's mentally driven. He has activist energy, and he has fast insights. The shadow side of Mars in Aquarius shows up as having a sharp tone and intellectual aggression. But whenever Mars in Aquarius integrates and heals, Justin Bieber has the opportunity to become courageous and truth-telling. And someone who takes progressive action when it's needed and called for. And the karmic lesson of Mars and Aquarius in the 3rd house is power does not require shock. And the karmic opportunity is to learn to use his voice to inspire change, but not to defend wounds. Having a 3rd house stellium summary. The mind is both the wound and the medicine. His voice is his destiny. The integrated summary is Justin is an intuitive communicator with a visionary mind. He has emotional sensitivity and intellectual innovation, which equals a healing message meant for the collective. In his 4th house, he has Venus, Pallas, Imam Coeli, Vesta, and part of Fortune. So he has another stellium in the 4th house. And the 4th house is all about his emotional foundation, home, childhood imprint, and inner world. And as it relates to Justin Bieber, his Venus is in Pisces in the 4th house. And Venus is all about love, beauty, how he bonds, pleasure, and value expression, how he attracts money. Because Venus is the planet of beauty, love, and money. So the expressions of Venus and Pisces is that Justin Bieber has a romantic, artistic heart. And he has a soft, emotional nature, and he has deep empathy. The shadow side of Venus and Pisces is he has a tendency to idealize relationships and have poor boundaries in his relationships. But whenever he heals the shadow side, the integrated light and the integrated product is someone who learns how to have compassionate love for others and someone who has deep spiritual creativity. The karmic lesson of Venus and Pisces is love is not sacrifice. And the karmic opportunity is to establish well-protective compassion. He also has Pallas in Pisces. And Pallas is all about pattern recognition, strategic wisdom, and creative intelligence. And how he operates that is in Pisces and how it shows itself up as emotional intelligence for him and intuitive strategy. The shadow side of Pallas in Pisces is confusion and absorbing others' emotional problems because it's a Pisces issue. I mean, until Pisces learns how to have boundaries with other people, Pisces is just gonna keep having deep compassion for people, and doesn't always go so well if you don't have boundaries. But once it's integrated, Pallas and Pisces is he learns to become someone who's good at spiritually strategizing and someone who has compassionate wisdom. Like knowing the difference of who is draining him and who is filling him back up reciprocally. And having boundaries with the people that are draining and then the people that are filling his cup up with him, so to speak. And it's reciprocal. I'm Mkweli in Pisces. And the I'm Mkweli is all about his childhood imprint, roots, and emotional origin. And the meaning is he had an extremely sensitive childhood, and there was deep emotional memory from his childhood. The shadow side of I'm Mkweli in Pisces is emotional overwhelm. And after it's integrated, it becomes spiritual depth and inner intuition. He also has Vesta in Aries, and Vesta is all about devotion, sacred focus, and his inner flame. And when it's in Aries, it means he's self-focused, and he has that self-focused determination and fierce independence. And we've seen a little bit of that coming out of him lately. He also has part of fortune in Aries in the 4th house. And the part of fortune is all about his natural talent that turns into flow. And it means for him, courage plus new beginnings equals prosperity. So, just to summarize the 4th house, since it was also a stellium, he has a spiritually sensitive inner world, plus he has a fierce devotion to individuality. Well, that's pretty obvious from his presentation of himself. The integrated summary is compassion plus intuition plus courage equals emotional power. And these are things that he'll need to grow into. He has, in his 5th house, Black Moon Lilith in Aries and Ceres in Taurus. And they're both in the 5th house. And the 5th house is about creativity, expression, romance, his inner child, and joy. And also how he raises children. His Black Moon Lilith is in Aries. And the Black Moon Lilith is all about repressed instinct, the shadow feminine, and raw authenticity. And the expression of Black Moon Lilith in Aries is fierce independence and creative fire. And the shadow side of Black Moon Lilith in Aries is anger and someone who is reactive and someone who has a fear of being controlled. But whenever the shadow is integrated and he heals that, he has the ability to learn how to come into his own authentic expression and express that as fearless creativity. The karmic lesson of Black Moon Lilith in Aries is that Justin Bieber doesn't have to fight to exist. He's been doing some of that. He doesn't need to. The karmic opportunity is to have creativity through confidence. He'll grow into it. I have faith in him. He has Ceres and Taurus in the 5th house. And Ceres is all about his nurturing style and how he gives and receives care. So the shadow side of Ceres and Taurus is he has over-attachment to people. And he has an addiction to comfort. Whatever makes him feel comfortable, he's addicted to it whenever he's in the shadow side of Ceres and Taurus. But whenever he's in the light integrated and healed side, it shows itself as stable warmth and grounded creative nourishment. The karmic lesson is care without control, and the karmic opportunity is emotional grounding. And the integrated summary is fiery authenticity plus grounded nurturing equals powerful creative potential. He has in his 6th house his South Node in Taurus. And his 6th house is his house of health, habits, daily work, and discipline. And his South Node appears here in his 6th house, which this is his past life comfort zone. And it leaves like a karmic residue on him. And he's like in that Taurus energy as like his protective energy. And this is what he needs to learn to come out of. The expression of South Node and Taurus in the 6th house is the desire for security, avoiding change, and habit loops. And the shadow side of South Node and Taurus in the 6th house is stagnation and resistance to transformation. But whenever he's healed and integrated, he will show up as someone who is steady in their self-mastery. And his karmic lesson is comfort does not equal growth at all. And the karmic opportunity for him is to build stable, grounded routines. The integrated summary, the need to release stagnant habits and step into Scorpio-like transformation. So in his 7th house, he has his descendant in Taurus. So he's got Taurus playing out in 3 different houses. So the 7th house is all about partnerships, long-term relationships, and mirrors how he relates to other people. And the definition of a descendant in Taurus, the descendant definition is what one seeks in his relationships. So what Justin Bieber seeks in his relationships is he wants calm and stable partners, people who are loyal, and someone who can bond through sensuality. The shadow side of descendant in Taurus is staying in stagnant relationships and the fear of change. And once he heals this and he's integrated, he becomes more mature and he makes grounded partnership choices based off of that maturity. The karmic lesson of the descendant in Taurus in the 7th house is his worth defines his relationships. And the karmic opportunity is to build emotionally safe partnership dynamics so that he doesn't have to build his relationships that define his self-worth, because his self-worth will already be defined by himself whenever it's healed. He has a vertex in Cancer in the 8th house, and the 8th house is the house of transformation, vulnerability, intimacy, and shared resources, and also like secrets and power dynamics and hidden things like that. And what the vertex means, all it means is a fated encounter, and it's a karmic turning point. And his vertex is in Cancer in the 8th house. So it shows up, expresses itself as emotional destiny, deep bonding, and soul contracts. And the shadow side of vertex in Cancer is emotional enmeshment that happens and the fear of loss. And once he heals the shadow and integrates into light, he'll be able to practice emotional alchemy and have a safe vulnerability to the people that he has deep bonds with. The karmic lesson of Vertex and Cancer in the 8th house is to learn emotional interdependence. So like, not codependence, but like two independent people working together as a team, interdependence. And the karmic opportunity of Vertex and Cancer in the 8th house is for him to experience transformative love. Love that transforms him. And as great as that sounds, it's hard, it's painful. But the results is astoundingly beautiful and so worth it. So, the 9th house, he has Chiron in Virgo and his Pholus is in Virgo. And the 9th house is all about higher mind, belief systems, education, and spiritual vision. And Chiron in Virgo, Chiron means the wound, his core wound, and how it leads to his healer path. Chiron in Virgo expresses itself as wounded perfectionism and feeling not good enough. The shadow side of Chiron in Virgo is hypercriticism, and once it's healed and integrated, it turns into healing precision. The karmic lesson of Chiron in Virgo is perfectionism harms the healer. Nothing's perfect. It's never going to be perfect, so quit trying. It's never going to be perfect. And the karmic opportunity is for Justin Bieber to learn to turn pain into mastery. He has Pholus in Virgo, also in the 9th house. And the Pholus just means it's a catalyst for major shifts in his life. The shadow side of Pholus in Virgo is overreaction. And the healed side, the integrated, shows up as a sharp healing insight. The karmic lesson of Pholus in Virgo is don't let small triggers spiral. And the karmic opportunity of Pholus in Virgo is to teach others refined healing methods. And the integrated summary, wounds around not enough become gifts of healing, of deep healing, wisdom. Because healing turns into wisdom. And that's a gift. Absolutely. In his 10th house, his midheaven is in Virgo, and the 10th house rules his career, his public identity, and his long-term purpose. And the midheaven definition is his destiny path, his public reputation, and his legacy. The expression of Virgo midheaven is service. You know, working in service to help humanity. Precision, healing work, and discipline. The shadow side of midheaven in Virgo is burnout and perfectionism. So we've been talking a lot about the perfectionism because of the last house. And whenever he's healed and integrated, it shows up as someone who is a master craftsman and someone who has leadership in his service to humanity. And the karmic lesson of a Virgo midheaven is he doesn't need to be perfect to have an impact. And the karmic opportunity is for him to learn to lead with humility and excellence. And his public destiny is healing, refinement, and purposeful service to humanity, is what all of that means. And that's what he's supposed to be doing for his work, as according to his birth chart. He has in his 11th house his moon in Libra and a Juno in Scorpio. And the 11th house is all about community, friendships, networks, and collective impact. And his moon in Libra, the moon is his emotional body, his needs, and his emotional instincts. And it expresses itself as he's a harmonizer, he's diplomatic, and he has relational intelligence. The shadow side of the moon in Libra is he has people-pleasing tendencies and a tendency to suppress himself, his needs, his wants, and his desires for other people. And whenever he's healed that, he becomes someone with balanced emotional insight. The karmic lesson is for Justin not to trade authenticity for approval, and the karmic opportunity is for Justin to build harmonious connections with other people. He also has Juno and Scorpio in the 11th house, and Juno is all about partnerships and that contract of partnerships and loyalty and soul bonds. The shadow side of Juno and Scorpio is jealousy and intensity. And the light side is deep loyalty. So in the shadow side, like, it's also promiscuity in some situations. But whenever he heals all of that shadow side of the Scorpio and Juno, it heals itself as someone who is deeply loyal to his partnerships. Like his partnerships that heal him and nurture him. The lesson of Juno and Scorpio is trust must be chosen, and he can't be controlling people, places, or situations. And the opportunity of Juno and Scorpio is for him to learn how to transform relationship patterns. So just to sum up, the 11th house, community becomes healing when he chooses balanced, emotionally honest bonds. In the 12th house, he's got a powerful karmic stellium. He's got Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio, North Node in Scorpio, and Pluto in Scorpio, all in the 12th house. The 12th house is about the subconscious, past lives, spiritual memory, and the unseen realm. When Jupiter retrograde is in Scorpio, so it's about inner expansion, not outer, and spiritual growth through emotional intensity. The shadow side of Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio is deep emotional extremes. And whenever he heals that and he integrates his shadow, he shows up as someone who has spiritual mastery. The karmic lesson of Jupiter and Scorpio in the 12th house is fear is a teacher. And the karmic opportunity for Jupiter and Scorpio is for inner alchemy. He has his North Node in Scorpio, and the North Node just means his destiny path. This is his mission, his reason for being on this planet at this time. The karmic lesson for North Node in Scorpio is for him to transform but not stagnate. And the karmic opportunity is for him to become reborn repeatedly. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, it hurts, but it's worth it. And for him, it happens repeatedly because his North Node is in Scorpio in the 12th house. He's going to have to learn how to find a way to make peace with that, because ultimately it's the only thing that's going to give him peace. He also has Pluto in Scorpio in the 12th house. And Pluto is all about transformation, shadow, and power. Pluto destroys and then shows you like what you shouldn't rebuild and how you should rebuild. So the shadow side of Pluto and Scorpio is self-destructive impulses. And once he's healed his Pluto and Scorpio, he is able to regenerate himself to heal. And through that regeneration, like, he finally will come into his true power whenever he stops reacting and starts responding and transforms periodically. So the 12th house stellium summary is he carries ancestral, karmic, emotional, and spiritual depth. And his destiny is spiritual rebirth through emotional truth, psychological mastery, and shadow integration. And as far as I can see, that he's in the process of doing this. Yes, he's having a hard time. Yes, it's made public and adding to him having a hard time, but he's still healing. And he is still on the healing trajectory of heading towards his North Node path, but it really involves him overcoming fear and the suppression of the self and having appropriate boundaries with people, knowing when people are safe and when people are not, and when they're not safe, you don't have anything to do with them. But that comes through experiences, time and experience. And he's definitely on the way. So no shade and no knock. But however, if he was to see this reading, I believe it would help him out with his healing trajectory, because it would give him like a plan to show him like where he needs to work on for soul growth. And that's really the point of all of these. So that concludes the birth chart reading. And we're going to go into the tarot reading. Wow, I really like how this got condensed but didn't take away from the integrity and the details. And this is going to be closer to like a 50-50 reading, like half of it birth chart, close to half, and then half a tarot reading. Cool. Father God, Holy Spirit, what are the messages that are most needed for this reading? Please and thank you. Recovery. Yes, this is a story of recovery. And that recovery is still needed. Right? Because, he has recovered in some ways. And he's still in the process of that recovery. And he deserves the space and the privacy to do that in. Father God, Holy Spirit, what are the most important messages for Justin Bieber, and that the collective can learn through Justin Bieber? Please and thank you. So we got the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So right out the gate, we have clarity. There's no illusion here. This is seeing things clearly for what they are, for exactly what they are. What is this Seven of Cups in reverse about? So we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. So this is having clarity about not being able to rest, not having good resting routines, not getting good sleep. There's clarity around this and how it affects his mental and his emotional health. So he's starting to become clear about what his resting needs are, and how he can stabilize himself, because he has learned from burnout and exhaustion and overworking that that's not where his happiness or where his creativity lives. And he's seeing that very clearly here. The next card out is the Two of Pentacles. So this is talking about just managing his day-to-day life. Just doing the daily grind, whatever. And this is, a good routine. And this is balancing. This is learning mastery of learning to balance work-life mastery. This is also about learning what needs to be delegated to others, or when to ask others for help, and learning how to prioritize needs and wants efficiently. And and the Two of Pentacles is also multitasking. They've got it going on until they don't, until it goes into overwork, burnout, and exhaustion. And so there's clarity on this pattern here. And next we have, got to cover up the goodies, the Lovers card. Yeah. So this is Gemini energy, and this is really about his alignment with himself. And this, once he's in alignment with himself, he can then be in alignment with his relationships in his life. But this is him learning how he relates to himself. And there might be some unhealthy patterns of not taking care of himself in specific ways that maybe he doesn't even realize is harmful to him not to do something that he should be doing. Whatever that could be. But this comes out as balanced integration, this clarity of needing structured rest routines to be able to be in alignment and in balance. And for him to also be able to be in alignment to make good choices. And he doesn't actually have any placements in Gemini, but I believe this is referencing his 6th house. So going back to his 6th house, that's his south node. So his 6th house, his south node's in Taurus. And it's in the house of health, habits, daily work, and discipline. And this is what I've been talking about. This is where his karmic focus needs to be, because this is what he needs to be striving to come away from. So this is actually referring to his past life comfort zone. Desire for security. Avoiding change. Habit loops. Habit loops. Comfort does not equal growth. And this is what I was talking about for his south node. So, this is definitely talking about what I said before, that his deep need to release stagnant habits and for him to step into Scorpio-like transformation, because his north node is in Scorpio. So, let's clarify the 7 of Cups in reverse. Comes out with the Knight of Pentacles. So, this clarity has taken a long time to come into. And it was supposed to, it was designed to, because it's Taurus energy. Taurus is like resistant until they know it's stupid to be resistant. And then once they have this, once a Taurus has clarity, there is absolutely no more resistance. No sir. Because through the behavior loops, through the habit loops, it's showing him over time. And he's very clear. And then once a Taurus makes up their mind, it's slow for them to make up their mind, but it's unmovable, especially if a Taurus is rooted and grounded in truth and love. You can't shake that Taurus for shit. And he can use that as the foundation for himself, instead of clinging on to it like it's his only way of being. Please clarify the 4 of Swords in the reverse. This is the 9 of Swords reverse. So this is also being clear about giving up overthinking and the anxiety loops and all of that. And like, it's been going on for a long time too. So like, it's been going on for so long, South Node stuff and Taurus, so long stuff, that this is clarity. And this is a soul that is starting to emerge from his South Node in Taurus. Please clarify the 2 of Pentacles. So we've got the Queen of Cups. So, the Queen of Cups is someone who is loving, intuitive, nurturing, compassionate. This could be an aspect of himself. This could be someone around him. But this is like learning how to prioritize love and creativity, and this is love and creativity with boundaries, routine, and structure, not chaos. This is talking about his his creative and his nurturing aspect of himself. But this also reflects around him somehow too. Because everything that happens on the inside is happening on the outside somewhere too. Please clarify the Lovers. And we got the Three of Swords. This is like heartbreaking decisions. Heartbreaking decisions are necessary sometimes, especially whenever people need boundaries. People you love need boundaries. This is about learning how to treat yourself with respect when people around you are not respecting you. And the only choice is heartbreak and walking away. You know what comes after that? Healing. Yeah. Healing comes after that. Right. Three of Cups reverse. Like, he's very clear that for a long time, the people around him were not as they seem. And they were good time people until he wasn't having a good time no more. And it really lent so hard into his anxiety and his overworking tendency, and to go into burnout from overworking and being exhausted and having health problems because of all of that. Like, it all came from the long-term exposure to all of the not so fun stuff that he has been exposed to in his life. Just to keep it respectful and non-specific, because there's many things that can fall into that, and I don't need to verbalize any of them. That would be overkill. And then we have the Five of Cups reversed. So this is no longer being sad about the things that have happened and really like seeing things as they are, the heartbreak and the choices that led to the heartbreak, and how love needs boundaries, structures, and self-care routines are needed, because you have to, and I'm guilty of this too. Like, I need self-care routines too, because whenever you don't have a self-care routine and you're not taking care of yourself and you're going into anxiety, overwork, burnout, and exhaustion, you're ignoring your own body, and it's like a form of self-abuse. And this is something that people with significant water placements who have deep empathy and compassion for people, it's something that they really have a hard time with, because water signs, we tend to see people through their potential, and then we believe that potential because we have that emotional attachment to them. But here in reality, they're nowhere near their potential, and they're just not equipped to be there for us like we think that they're going to be, and then we get let down. in the relationships and heartbroken because there's like expectations around the love as well. And that doesn't work out very well either. But there isn't any regret here. It's just, I see this clearly. I see why it's causing all the problems that it's having on his emotional and physical and mental body. And he's just kind of seeing things how they are. He's not romanticizing. He's seeing the reality. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And this is his gift from the universe, to see this reality, because this is going to help him move into his destiny, his North Node destiny. And right after the North Node is the Ace of Pentacles. So this could mean anything from collaborative projects to increase of money. In Pentacles is like time, energy, money, attention. The Wheel of Fortune is fated in sudden events. So once he's healed, the universe is gonna be handing him abundance beyond his wildest dreams. But that happens whenever he's healed in alignment with himself, and he's coming away from his South Node in Taurus. And it looks to me like he's getting a clue on, this is what you've always done in relationships. And it's not working. Every single time it never worked. Not one time. And it was many times, many people, many situations, and not one time did it ever work. And that is a theme of Taurus. Like, once the Taurus sees the pattern of, I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and failed every time and nothing changed, you need to reconsider your method or your motive or your intention or whatever it is that needs to be reconsidered. And that definitely explains that in a nutshell. And it takes a lot of pain, a lot of emotional pain for a Taurus to say, for the light to go on and say, oh, everything I've been doing is wrong because it's never worked. Maybe I should try something else. Maybe something I'm not comfortable with. Oh. But that's when the shit gets scary. Feel the fear and do it anyway. It's the only way to get through the fear. Because once you realize that you just have to get past the fear of doing what you know you should be doing, that's hard. It's like, but true integrity is feeling the fear and just doing it anyway, and knowing that whatever happens, it's going to be for the best. And it's a nice interruption to the pattern, to the habit loops. So this reading is all about how he can get out of his South Node. And that's where the real opportunity is for him to go into his North Node Scorpio in the 12th house, which is stop stagnating and transform and become reborn as many times as it takes. That's Justin Bieber's destiny. Imagine the evolvement of his soul in about 5 years from now. That's probably going to be the time where he gives the universe the greatest gift, because he'll be healed and he'll be able to channel his creativity in a healed and compassionate way, and he'll project healing instead of his heartbreak. And I'm not knocking his process, because he has to put out music in order for him to transform it all. That's his therapy. He needs that. So I'm not knocking him at all. But the more stuff he puts out, the more refined he's going to get as he heals. And I really think in the next 5 to 10 years is where we're going to see Justin Bieber's best work come from him. In my firm and for entertainment purposes only opinion. Because I don't think that we've only seen Justin Bieber's potential scratching the surface with his album Purpose and then Justice. He started something but didn't have the steam to carry it through. And in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see where that steam takes him and how it transforms him along the way. So that is an amazing reading, actually. I'm going to pick 2 cards from this Egyptian deck here. Yeah, healing. Yep, we are talking about the healing and recovery of Justin Bieber. And that is what I fully support. And then here's wisdom. Wisdom comes through the healing, and the healing creates wisdom. I love that. All right, so let's find out what Archangel Michael, what Archangel Michael's advice to close the reading is. Please and thank you. Archangel Michael, what is your advice for Justin Bieber and the audience who is resonating with this? What is the advice? Please and thank you. Take your time making this decision. Wow. That sounds like a Taurus thing if I've ever heard one. Archangel Michael, please help me stay strong and relaxed as I approach this situation, which is growing out of the Taurus South Node. Remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. And thank you for protecting me. Yeah. So this decision's very important. It's going to take him some time. And once he does, he's going to build strength and he's going to transform. And over time, that healing is going to become an unstoppable healing force. And I am so here for it. I can't wait to see it. I mean, he always had that potential. And whenever he hits that potential, and I do believe he will in the future, I think he's well on his way. But it's going to take him time and experience and some pain and and some growth to come from that. I love that. So that is what I have, and this is so much shorter than the Britney Spears video, and hopefully I'll still be able to keep cranking out content in this neighborhood of time instead of closer to the 2-hour mark. So hopefully I can keep this consistent because this is cool. What did you guys think about this rating? Please let me know what y'all think. Leave a comment in there somewhere. If you liked the video or you learned something, please hit that thumbs up. It will really help me a lot. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. What are you waiting for? It's free. And thank you for supporting me on all of my platforms, which I also have a TikTok account. It has daily shorts on there, and I have daily shorts on YouTube as well, but it's all different content over on TikTok. So if you're interested in short little lessons that, you can get more of the same format in a different location, that link is in the description box below, and you can hit up my TikTok and check that out if you like. So that, yeah, I don't know I think I just need to rest. So I hope that this finds everyone well, and thank y'all for supporting me in all the ways that y'all do, and I'll talk to y'all soon.